Good afternoon and welcome to Truss Arena for match 2 of the OFC Futsal Championships. You join us just prior to the Australian National Anthem. It's New Zealand Invitational up against the Futsal Roos in match 2 of the OFC Futsal Championship. And a tall order for the New Zealand second string. They're going up against a side that performed so well at the FIFA Futsal World Cup last year in Thailand. I'm Gordon Glenn Watson, and alongside me for this match is OFC Futsal expert Paul Tui. And Paul, this is going to be a tough game for the home team.
Over the weekend, Australia really put New Zealand to the sword, there's 4 guys who were part of that campaign in Thailand last year, and there's another 7 or 8 players that have come in new, and some of the youngsters, Cooper, the younger Giovanelli. A lot of promise there, and really Stephen Knight starting to build again towards his next campaign. He's got one eye on Asia as well later in the year, the Asian Futsal Championships, and so pretty tough for this New Zealand side, the second string team.
There is the team list for the New Zealand Invitational side. It's Dave Plowright who will start in goal. The appearance of Mohamed Kamari is one of note. He is a former Moroccan,
I believe so, yeah,
international, and has been playing football in the New Zealand ASB Premiership for Team Wellington over the past couple of seasons. And in that Australian team list, the names of Toby Sito, Chris Zebalos and Angelo Constantino stand out, as well as Daniel Fogarty. These are players who have a great deal of experience, and they'll be expected, along with their newly drafted in teammates, they'll be expected to take care of business here this afternoon, Paul.
It's going to be a really tough assignment for this young New Zealand side. They've got Camry, of course, with his experience, and Plowright in goal, and just looking down on the court, Daniel Ball up front. He played in the series, but he's another newcomer to the international scene. So they need a good 5 minutes, opening 5 minutes, New Zealand invitation, just to get their feet on the court. But this Australian side is quick and pretty ruthless.
Well, the referee is Rex Kamusu of the Solomon Islands, and Tehotu Tairea from Tahiti. Third referee Stephen Upa from New Caledonia, and the timekeeper Daniel Kalsua of New Caledonia also. Well, we were treated to an electrifying opening match between Tahiti and Vanuatu. That finished 5-3 to the team from French Polynesia. And Vanuatu gave a great account of themselves. They weren't expected to get close to the Heitapu Hunter coach side, and perhaps there is something in that for the Kiwis to take into this one.
Good to see a couple of 18-year-olds on the court too for New Zealand. Stephen Ashby Peckham of Auckland and Matt Edridge of Wellington. Both of them featured in the National Youth Championships down in Wellington on the weekend, and during the day and in the evenings putting on the Futsal Watch jersey.
Camry again.
Camry was part of the ASB National Futsal League Championship winning Northern Football Federation side, along with Futsal White's assistant coach Felipe Bernardi, current Futsal White Wada Ragud, and I think Jan Fisher, who's in this invitational side, part of that squad.
Cameron's an experienced campaigner, and almost a chance for the Kiwi Invitational team. Took a deflection off Mark Symington. Good save by Constantino, read that situation like a book. Australian goalkeeper. Ashby Peckham with the left shot and well wide of target. Flowerwright. Well, two names that have been crossed off the New Zealand list of interest. Raina Boafend has been replaced by Dominique O'Sullivan, and John Penyas is listed as injured. Here's Fogarty taking on Camry. Sito, the skipper. Chance for Australia, through the legs of Plowright. And it's Mark Symington who opens the scoring. Ideal start for the Futsal Roos.
Yeah, a bright start though, first couple of minutes for the invitational side, but any mistakes punished at this level with a side as experienced as Australia is. Sito just working his way onto that left-hand side of the court, always dangerous.
We can welcome viewers through the Summit TV platform who have joined us broadcast this afternoon. One of the new players on the scene in terms live in New Zealand for this match between the Futsal Roos and the New Zealand Invitational New Zealand Invitation side. They will be with us throughout this tournament. As Constantino pumps his ball forward, that's not a bad header as well from Dan Fogarty, just setting up a shot for the goal scorer Symington.
Good block there by Ashby Peckham as well.
Sito
will dictate so much of the play, Gordon, for the Australians.
Fogarty taking on Ashby Peckham. Lockhart. Symington losing out to Camry. Camry trying to fashion a lob pass for Ashby Peckham. It's back with the Futsal Roos. Sito was on the score sheet for Australia at the FIFA Futsal World Cup in the win over Mexico. They beat the Mexicans 3-1 after going down 1-0 very early on in that game. Ashby Peckham. Lockhart winning it. And Camry trying to find a way out from his own half of the court. Ashby Peckham, not a great first touch. Sito's on scene to pick the ball up. Symington. Lockhart. Sito. Well, Futsal Roos coach Stephen Knight has resisted the temptation to blood a squad of youngsters for this trip to New Zealand. This is a very competitive starting five for the Australians.
Nathaniel Wright into the game, Gordon. Another player, one of three, I think, from Hawke's Bay. Clear to see Camry's influence already. Very experienced, the former Moroccan international, and just creating just a bit of stability at the back with his ability to hold on to the ball. He's quite comfortable on the ball, shields it well, and it'll be good for these youngsters to have Camry there on court for as long as possible.
It's a good ball by Camry. Nathaniel Wright just couldn't lock possession in for the New Zealand Invitational side. Adam Cooper. Now Sito. Chris Zabelis back for his skipper. Giovanali. All Futsal Roos at the moment. Sito playing it wide. Lines up the shot and off target.
Cooper was one of the standouts down in Wellington, another new player. Finished up with a hat-trick in that final game, the one marred by the earthquake.
Ashby Peckham.
But the invitation side acquitting themselves quite well at the moment. Just a goal down, but a few encouraging signs here. Great chance for international experience for some of these guys for the first time. A couple of them have appeared for the Futsal Whites, but very little court time, 3 or 4 minutes here and there. So they'll get an extended stint on court, I would think, throughout this series.
Well, another team from the AFC that's in this group is Malaysia. They've prepared for this event here in Auckland with a tour of Spain. They've participated in an international event in the UK, managed a 2-2 draw with England. As we see the Futsal Roos coming forward, and Ashby Peckham does well to take the ball off Sito, but he hasn't got his clearance right.
Great little one-touch ball by Cooper there, but Sito once again just advancing from that fixer position at the back, just showing his dangerous qualities. He spent some time in Spain playing, and he tormented New Zealand over the weekend, and as you mentioned earlier, Gordon, scored a couple of times at the World Cup, had a terrific tournament.
Yes, he's a class act, Sito. Here he is on the ball now for the Futsal Roos. Chance for Australia perhaps to line up a shot straight at David Plowright. There's Adam Cooper who let fly with the right foot, rasping effort from distance.
Charles Compound on for the invitation side, number 10, and number 13. Another one of the newly blooded players. Dominic O'Sullivan, also another new player. This can only help New Zealand as they try and build the depth of experience. Futsal really growing in New Zealand, but not a lot of opportunities to play at international level, so great to see these young guys getting a chance. Vanuatu showing us earlier, Gordon, the virtues of picking a young side with their mobility and their willingness to put in the work. Typically, a player can stay on court 3 or 4 minutes, and if he wants to stay on much longer, he's possibly not working hard enough. And some of these young guys, they'll be able to put in a good shift today.
Interesting set move by the invitational side, just lacking a finish from Nathaniel Wright. Futsal Roos lead New Zealand Invitational by a goal to 0. Oh, and it's 2 now. Adam Cooper. Excellent finish.
Great ball and a great finish. Yeah. Great ball from Zeballos, just nicely into Cooper, but good body position as he received it, opened himself up and tucked it inside that far post. Cooper just continuing a great tour that he's having in New Zealand. Hat-trick on Sunday and one more down here.
So the Futsal Roos in control. They lead New Zealand by 2-0. New Zealand Invitational trailing.
Daniel Fulton on now, number 3. Well known to New Zealand audiences. It's his 3rd trip to New Zealand in as many years. First came over in the opening season of the National League of Futsal as part of the Maccabi team that was a guest team in our first ever National League, and ended up MVP. Played for Australia last year, but didn't make the World Cup squad, but another one who had a good series in Wellington, keen to impress coach Stephen Knight.
Compound. Fisher.
Great block there by Compound. Fulton's shot was a dangerous one. Dean Lockhart, also part of that Maccabi side back in 2010-11. Under 11 for Australia.
Chance for New Zealand Axe. They've run into a green and gold defensive wall.
Good work from Daniel Ball, trying to win the ball back there.
Young Fisher.
Yeah, Fisher in for the first time. Another one of the promising newcomers from that championship-winning Northern Football Federation side. Just seemed to be nursing a bit of injury. Didn't train with the invitation side when we saw them down here this morning, but good to see him on court.
Here's Fulton. Hits the side netting. Only effort.
Matt Edridge back in.
Player right's throw. Edridge can't get a hold of it. Fulton. Looking for Giovanali. Lockout.
Wade Giovanali on the ball now. His brother Greg looks like he must have headed back to Australia after the series in Wellington. Apparently there's 3 brothers. Wade's the youngest, Greg the oldest, and the one in the middle who's not here, they tell me is the best one of the lot.
Joel Compound. Lifting the ball ahead for Matt Edridge. Just runs through to Constantinou. Now Lockhart. Fulton. Lockhart again. Picked up by Flowerwright in the end. Halfway through the first half, New Zealand Invitational 0, Futsal Roos 2.
Charles Compan, understand 16 years old, Gordon.
Well, the timeout has been called.
Yeah, well, Australia well on top, but I'm really encouraged by the start by the New Zealanders, particularly when Camry was on. They looked to have a bit of confidence, and I think after the weekend for the national team, the A team, it's good that they've been able to keep the Australians largely at bay. And here's Cooper again. Just see how he takes the ball with his front foot, sole of the foot, bang into that far post. It's a textbook goal, really. And Cooper's great tour of New Zealand continues.
It was a powerful finish by Cooper. Australia lead New Zealand Invitational by 2-0.
So Simon Mead in charge of the invitation side. Simon actually spent some time in Brazil, I think as a player, with the Manaus club some years ago, so he's got a bit of experience in futsal, working as a football development officer in the Waikato now, but great for Simon too to get an opportunity to work under Scott Gilligan and with Felipe Bernardi, and just a sign of the great opportunities that are on offer now.
So the match officials for this game led by Rex Kamusu from the Solomon Islands and Tehotu Taira of Tahiti, and the New Caledonia pair of Stefan Upa and Daniel Kai Suo. Stephen Knight will be satisfied with the performance so far.
Yep, it's been a good trip for the Australians. Yet to concede a goal.
Cameron back in action. The invitational side, he was fortunate to get away with that. Edridge clipping the ball ahead for teammate Daniel Ball. And Fulton restarts us. It's Fulton again. Now Lockhart.
Just trying to pick out Eddie Alpkaya there. Moved into the pivot position. But you notice with the Australians, the good ball speed, their movement's very good, but their passing very crisp, very firm.
Fulton plays Lockhart in. Alpkaya has made a switch to the left. Lockhart with a good turn. Fulton
That's a
again.
nice turn, isn't it?
Australia happy to work Fulton into a good position, but the finish didn't match the quality of the run or the pass. Fisher. Constantino lofts the ball forward. Charles Compan with the header. It's hoisted clear by Edridge. Well, just the occasional flash of inexperience and naivety by the invitational side from time to time. Certainly getting an opportunity to sharpen themselves at the needle point of international futsal, as we see Alpkaya's shot just flash wide of Plowright's right hand upright. Edridge.
Yeah, there's no substitute for this kind of experience for these young players, as we see Nathaniel Wright back into the game, 14 for the invitation team. All of these players playing in the ASB Futsal National League, but having the Aussies, trying to mark the Aussies is a totally different kettle of fish.
Fisher into Ashby Peckham. Lockhart. Fulton gets the ball tangled up at his feet. He's recovered. Cut out by Edridge. Now Fisher, tidy work on the ball.
Good work from Fisher.
Nice spell here for the invitational side.
It's good.
Edridge. Stephen Ashby Peckham for Jan Fisher. This will do the confidence levels some good. That ball straight into Fulton.
Yeah, but New Zealand quick back and organised. Right leading from the front there. Fisher. Right, the veteran of the piece at 23.
Alpkaya. Lockhart. Alpkaya again. Working this New Zealand side around the court. The Futsaroos. Playing at a very quick tempo as well. Here's Lockhart. Alkaya holding the ball up. Edridge has managed to get past 2. He won't get past Fulton. Edridge, well, he's been caught out by Lockhart. And great defending again, Stephen Ashby-Peckham. Slowly grown into this task, Ashby-Peckham.
Yeah, he didn't get a lot of opportunity in Wellington, but when he was on the court, he did look good. And looking good again this afternoon.
Sito. Evan Cooper. Well, this Futsal Rouge side is a joy to watch at times. Cooper's given that away though.
Yeah, they go up a gear when Sito's on as well, Gordon.
Shot from Cooper, away by Ashby-Peckham.
Good to see Fogarty back on court for Australia. He was nursing an injury throughout most of the Trans-Tasman series. Number 10, another of the players that went to the World Cup.
Cooper. Content to hold up in the Futsal Rouge half. And restarts an attack. That's a good ball by Sito Fogarty, not at his best. Plowright gets play into way, and well, that could have been interesting.
Wade Giovanali. But again, just seeing the first touch of Sito and then that lovely ball as he transferred it to his left foot. Fogarty just couldn't get the contact he wanted.
Sito's header, and Fogarty holds off one challenge and gets a free kick. Cooper to take it. Giovanali ahead of him. Sito to his left. Back with Cooper. Sito was also on target in the defeat against Argentina at the World Cup.
That's right, yeah. He scored a cracker from the left-hand side. I'm not sure if that was the Mexico game or Argentina. But that Mexican game in general for Australia, they controlled it so well.
Camry on the counter-attack for New Zealand Invitational 11. That's a comfortable one for Constantino to pick up. Very unflustered going about his business there, the Futsal Rouge goalkeeper.
Yeah, and the good keepers are another feature of this Australian side. Down in Wellington, New Zealand had a number of chances to score, and the keeper's just too good. Gavin O'Brien and Constantino. Gavin O'Brien looks like he's headed home on the plane, and Kieran Pates will get a chance.
Cooper to Sito in a good position for the Futsal Rouge. Deflection.
Well done, David Plowright, off the knee.
And Plowright takes the Sito corner at the near post.
And Sito here works it onto his right foot.
Well, he sold Dominic Sullivan a treat, cutting in on that right foot, faking to shoot with his left. He's a cool customer, Sito. Here he is again, Adam Cooper. Fogarty to his left. And the shots deflecting into the arms of David Plowright. Back with New Zealand Invitational 11. New Zealand Invitational 5. Hitchin Camry
always a tricky one, that one, Gordon. I never know when to say 5 or the invitation 12. Camry back in though. He'll just look to steady the ship towards half-time. I think if they can go in 2 goals down, they'll be more than happy.
Yes, a lot of credit due to Simon Mead for the work that he's put in with this group.
Yeah, he's had about 3 hours. But goal difference will come into it, I expect. So, you know, if they can keep the Aussies at bay, it keeps them alive in this series. But no...
Fogarty with a chance. Symington. Oh, he's hit the crossbar.
Bit of fortune for New Zealand. No, Simon's done very well. I had a look at their session this morning, and great spirit in this side. I think they're really relishing this opportunity to get some extended court time, especially the youngsters. And Simon was doing a great job. And Symington there he was on target. But a let off for New Zealand, the invitation team, and
Fogarty up against Camry. And he's been clipped there, Dan Fogarty. That's another opportunity for the Futsal Roos to stamp their authority on this opening fixture for them in this tournament.
Yeah, look at the lineup to the right. They're all wanting a piece of this one.
Yes, it's Fogarty, Symington and Zeballos. All to the right of Lockhart.
I'm going with Zeballos.
2 in the wall. Lockhart goes himself.
Straight into Daniel Ball.
Camry. Daniel Ball restarts. Camry. Compound. Oh, and that's a difficult one, and Symington's hit the bar again. Let off for the invitational side. Zeballos. Lockhart. Symington. Desperate defending by Hitch and Camry. Compound. Plays Edridge. Edridge lobbing a ball forward for Daniel Ball. Dan Fogarty got himself between Ball and the ball. Well, that hit Symington's hand by the look of it.
Yeah, and once again against the crossbar.
Symington. Lockout for Fogarty. Camry going over to deal with the threat of Fogarty.
Good defending.
Dan Ball just happy to clear.
Yeah, he came back to support Camry well.
Zeballos. Lockhart. Fogarty switching flanks. Rotating out again. Opening up the space for Zeballos.
It's good. Not easy to defend, but the invitation side doing well. They're certainly up for the task. If they can tuck one away.
Well, that could have ended up in the back of New Zealand's net from Hitch and Camry.
Yeah, bit of luck going the invitation team's way at the moment.
Chris Zeballos, chance for Lockhart, and well wide. So 1 minute 43 seconds left to play in this half. New Zealand invitation side 0. The Australian Futsal Roos 2. Good shot by Edridge. Comfortable save for the keeper. The technique and the power was there from Matt Edridge. Lockhart. Dominic O'Sullivan has picked it up. Matt Edridge. Charles Compan. That's a tight one for Matt Edridge. Lockhart showed some interest. Symington. Chris Zabelos. Past his man. Oh, it's going to break kindly. And Australia, 3 goals to the good.
Muzameki.
Marino Muzameki.
Yeah, Zabelos down the left-hand side, and just a bit of an unfortunate deflection there for Compan, and an easy finish for Marino Muzameki. And then Symington just wide. He could have had a hatful in this first half, Gordon.
Well, the Futsal Roos will be quietly satisfied with the work of the first half to date. 3 goals, none conceded. Marino Muzameki, the goal scorer. Apaya. Muzameki. Debelos. And a chance for Australia to make it 4. Good save by Plowright.
He's done well there, David Plowright. Zabelos' shot parried over the top.
Oh, and another good save by Plowright. It's going to fall to Muzameki, and it's high over the bar.
New Zealand need to just get to this half-time with no more concessions.
Muzameki, Lockhart. Apaya. Lockhart with a shot, and it's hit Charles Compan.
Just a bit of confusion over the half-time whistle.
And confirmation of half-time. And the Futsal Roos lead at the break by 3 goals to 0. Let's look back on the first half. Chris Zabelos opened up some space for Adam Cooper, and he lashed the ball home to make it 2-0. And the Futsal Roos were looking comfortable. Good finish by the youngster. And then Symington set up Dan Fogarty, received the ball back, hit the underside of the crossbar and away. Really, you should be looking to get a finish in there, but New Zealand won't be complaining about that. Symington was at it again moments later, thundering this shot into the Invitational side's crossbar. It looked as though it struck him on the hand initially. That wasn't picked up by the match officials. And the Futsal Roos' 3rd goal by Marino Muzameki. He got a kind deflection here off Plowright and Compan. And Zabelos had done most of the hard work, and 3-0 for Australia. And looking comfortable. So, Paul, the first match of this tournament finished 5-3 to Tahiti. It was Vanuatu who put in quite a good show. Your opinion of that?
Yeah, it was very encouraging from Vanuatu, young side, a new side, and we weren't really sure what to expect from them at the OFC Futsal Championship Invitational, but they were leading 3-1 until just before the end. But just the experience and the strength of the Tahitians took its toll, and so 5-3 it finished, didn't it?
And half-time here in match 2 of the tournament. It's New Zealand Invitational 0, Australia 3. Rejoin us back here in 6 or 7 minutes time for the second half. Until then, we'll see you very shortly. Really hard to get as a team to stand like this, eh?
Yeah, they've done very well though. New Zealand. New Zealand.
Welcome back to Truss Arena in Henderson, Auckland, New Zealand for the second half of the match between Australia and the New Zealand Invitational side. It's the Futsal Roos who lead by 3-0. And Paul, they are looking good for a first up win.
Yes, just continuing that form from the weekend, the Trans-Tasman Cup, and they managed to get 28 shots away in the first half to the invitation side's 13.
So Simon Mead's Kiwi selection side have their work cut out if they're going to make a comeback in this match. They trail 3-0. Lovely skills by Giovanali. Sito back to Giovanali. Sito again. Nice interception by Daniel Ball. Sito. Chris Zabalos. Content to patiently build up this attack, although Zabalos has stray pass has put Australia in a spot of bother. They've
Great
recovered
ball
though.
there, Giovanali. Good vision.
Camry. Oh, straight to Zabalos. Problem for the New Zealand Invitation side. Pressure's still not off. Cooper. Cooper trying to fashion a shot. It was a weak one. He's got the ball back though. Sito. Bright start to the second half by the Futsal Roos. And Zabalos ball not picked up by Giovanali.
Sito very much the conductor for the Futsal Roos. They go up another gear when he's on court. He's like the metronome, really. He dictates the tempo. And that very cultured left foot that he has. He is now on the ball, just collecting it and getting it away to Wade Giovanali.
Yes, he's some player to watch when he's on song. Sito is at the heart of everything the Futsal Roos do.
Yeah, it's just that little details with him, his lovely technique and his awareness. Head's always up.
Spots that run by Cooper. Gives Giovanali a call. There's the ball onto Zabalos. Giovanali. Sito. It's all Futsal Roos at the moment.
Yeah, the invitation team must feel like they're in a washing machine at the moment, just getting rotated around.
Cooper scored the second goal for Australia today. Constantinu. That's a good ball by the goalkeeper for Sito. Oh, what a goal! You'd have to go a long way before you see a goal of that quality.
The last time I saw one like that was Sito at the World Cup, I think, Gordon, against Mexico. Fantastic finish, wasn't it? Popped up beautifully for him on the left, and great ball. And just look at it sit up for him, and on the volley, just bang into that front corner. Just tremendous.
Ball out by the goalkeeper,
wasn't it? And in fact, Sito and Constantinu combined brilliantly down in Wellington as well a couple of times. I think might have been Sito, yeah it was, who got on the end of a long ball like that, but with his head, and put the Futsal Roos further ahead in game 3.
What I like about Constantino is he just goes about his business in the most unflustered, unhurried way, and then can make a big impact like that.
Yeah, a good tradesman.
Here's Cooper. Sito. Giovanali had a go at it. Invitation for Sito to hit it with a volley, but that left foot back in play. Shot high and over the crossbar. Ashby Peckham for Matt Edridge. Sito's only hoisted that as far as Hisham Camry.
Great turn.
Camry's going to need some support here. Where's it coming from? Stephen Ashby Peckham. Ashby Ashby Peckham again, taking on Cooper, trying to go past Sito.
He did well, and that's what we want to see in New Zealand, guys who can take someone on a 1v1 and go past them. Makes a heck of a difference in futsal.
Some discussion going on between Camry and Ashby Peckham about just what they're going to unleash here in terms of set play. Got Matt Edridge at the far post for the invitation side. Camry's hit that rather firmly. Ashby Peckham tried to keep it in and couldn't. Giovanali, too hard for Dan Fogarty. He's getting a bit of a talking to from his skipper. Ashby Peckham, that's not a bad ball. Constantino ambles out and takes the ball off the end of Hisham Camry's left foot. Restart. Ashby Peckham is looking for a corner but doesn't get it. Sito. Fogarty. Lockhart. Giovanali. Australia happy to work the Kiwi invitation side around the court. Search of an opening. Two balls on the court. It hasn't been spotted by the official yet. Has now. That was a move of some promise too for the Futsal Roos. They'll be mildly annoyed at that. Matt Edridge sportingly returns possession to Australia. Giovanali. Fogarty. Lovely technique by Sito. Camry read the through ball though. Managed to get the ball out of his feet for Edridge, but it's back with Australia. Futsal Roos 4, New Zealand invitation side 0. Fogarty. Past Camry. Stays on his feet.
Good little burst of acceleration from Fogarty.
Yes, he's such a supple mover through traffic, Dan Fogarty. Allows him to stay on his feet when he takes a knock on his way past the player. Wiry leaf frame to him. Sito. Here is Fogarty again. Well, it's all keep ball at the moment for the Futsal Roos. Lockhart. Giovanali. Sito trying to slip past Matt Edridge. We saw a couple of times in the opening match, Paul, particularly with Racom, who was able to just put the ball between the legs of a defender who rushed in and squared himself up. And that's what Sito was trying to do to Matt Edridge on that particular play.
Yeah, it's great to see. It's one of those individual things that you like to see in futsal. There's not a lot of space out there, and hence the rotation and the movement. But now and again in a 1v1, if you can pull out a little bit of skill, a little flash like that just from Jan Fisher, makes the difference. It was a nice touch from Daniel Ball too, the little flicked pass.
Here's Nathaniel Wright with a long-range shot. That's not going to trouble Constantino, and another one of those excellent pieces of play by the goalkeeper.
And a good first touch from Symington with his chest to bring it down and just poke it home at the far post. But the Invitational team caught out there. Bit unfortunate because it was a nice bit of skill from Jan Fisher, but that's the way it goes in futsal. A quick break up the other end and you're punished.
Fantastic throw up by Constantino, and the finish by Symington was perfect.
And once again showing the value of Constantinu and of the goalkeeper as an attacking force with an accurate throw and the awareness to act quickly.
Well, 2 goals for Australia in the second half, and the goalkeeper's been the initiator of both of them. That's a good ball too for Fogarty. Tries to backheel it into the path of Lockhart. It's picked up by Edridge. Goes, whoa, that's excellent defending by the Australian skipper. Fogarty can put the ball into his path if he likes.
Both of them too unselfish there. Fogarty should have finished it. But the Invitation team under the cosh now, and this is where this pressure can really take its toll. They've been worked around the court for the best part of half an hour, and this is when Australia, they could really accelerate their scoring here. Invitation team will do well to keep them at bay.
Just noticing every now and then as well, Australian players are able to get an attacker just in beyond the last defender and pick up these through balls, and it just shows how much energy is being spent trying to chase this ball by the Kiwi Invitational side. When you start to let your runners go, you know that the legs are struggling a wee bit. Ashby Peckham, Jan Fisher.
No one over 20 on the court at the moment for New Zealand.
Charles Compan runs into Lockhart.
Compan 16, I think the others are 18. Signs of a bright future for the Futsal Whites, I hope, with guys like this on deck.
Symington, Lockhart. He rushed his pass. Cooper was about to move into some dangerous space for the Futsal Roos, just in behind Dom O'Sullivan. Fisher. Two balls on court, and pause before the restart. Charles Compan will take it for the Invitational side. And a card about to be brandished here. Well, it looked like it was. He went for his pocket and changed his mind. Compan. Sullivan can't lock the ball in for New Zealand.
Just struggling to keep possession at the moment, New Zealand. Really 1 or 2 passes and then it's going astray. Different story with Australia. Lockhart and Cooper now into the game.
Fogarty. Adam Cooper against Dominic O'Sullivan. Symington. Dean Lockhart. Symington loses possession. Clipped forward by Compan. All the way back to Angelo Constantinu. Cooper. Now Fulton. Symington. And the through ball from Adam Cooper just had too much pace on it.
All right, having a break, Gordon. Mitch Webber, other youngster from Hawke's Bay, 17, I think, Mitch.
Adam Cooper. Mark Symington. Symington again. Cooper again. Dominic O'Sullivan is being put through the ringer here in terms of defensive work rate. Now Compan on the counter attack, and the decision goes the Futsal Roos' way. Symington, toe poke through to Fulton. Cooper. Well, I'm struggling to recall when the New Zealand Invitational side last had an extended period of possession, Paul.
Yeah, it's been a while. Very difficult now. Very tiring chasing this Aussie side as they rotate themselves around the court. But they're doing well to keep it to 5 at the moment.
Dan Fulton. Mike Symington for Musumeki. Musumeki. Cut out by Compan.
Misham Camry back into the mix just to give them a bit of strength and stability. He's done well today.
Symington for Marino Musumeki. Dan Fulton. Well, it's really Australian mistakes that giving the ball to New Zealand, and that's happening only rarely. Camry. Stephen Ashby-Peckham could find himself in a spot of bother here. It's back with Australia.
Yeah, the experience of Fulton there, robbing Ashby-Peckham. Musumeki back into the game, one of the goal scorers.
Eddie Altkaya restarts the game. There's still 8 minutes to go. That's a good save by Mitchell Webber. Musumeki for Australia. Now Eddie Altkaya. Look at the movement and the pace of the ball movement from the Futsal Roos. It's quite frightening at times.
Yeah, and to think they struggled themselves against Italy and Argentina in the World Cup. It just shows you there's different layers, there's different levels of ability. But great run there from net right.
Oh, and off the line by Dan Fulton.
Camry did well, and it was a constant theme in Wellington. The ball being cleared off the line, so even when the New Zealand side got close to scoring, there was always a despairing dive from the Australians to keep them at bay, and just a real sign of the mentality of these guys. They do not want to concede.
There was a shot from Nathaniel Wright, and it popped up nicely for Hitcham Camry. Got plenty on it. It might have actually been going wide, but Dan Fulton was on hand to make sure that the New Zealand Invitational side remained goalless in this game. Marino Musumeki. Symington. Musumeki again. Just the technique of the Futsal Roos, the way they receive the ball, the first touch is always clean and crisp.
Yep, one of the hallmarks of their play. And they play so often, these guys. They're in the middle of their own, it's not quite a national league, the F League, but it's a very competitive league. They've just had Series 3 earlier this month. I think it's a 5-series competition. Actually modelled on the New Zealand National League. Sorry, Gordon, it's Musumeki makes it 6.
6-0, and a second goal for Marino Musumeki.
Made it look simple from the set piece. But the Invitation just got to keep their heads up now as we see that free kick. And despairing dive from Mitch Webber. Easy finish for Musumeki. Just a nicely rehearsed free kick routine. And Australia further ahead.
Symington, Marino Musumeki looking for a third now for his personal tally. Symington is also in the same situation with a double today.
Could have had 4. He rattled the bar a couple of times too, hasn't he?
Certainly has. Here he is again. Now Eddie Altkaya. Oh, nice finish. Musumeki has his treble. And Australia lead the New Zealand invitation side by 7-0.
Straight from the kick in, and once again took up a nice position and hit a beautiful first time shot past the despairing Weber.
Well, the golfing class now starting to show. There's still 6 minutes and 30 odd seconds of the game left to play.
Yeah, they've just got to stem the flow.
And here's Alkaya and Dan Fulton.
Just talking earlier in that last game, Gordon, about how in a court sport, you know, when the tide changes, or they can just, it can be pretty dramatic, and we've seen 3 goals in about a minute. Just looking at that replay, which one will it be? Oh, it's the finish from Fulton, his second goal in an Australian shirt. I spoke to Dan Fulton after the game on Sunday, and he was so delighted to have scored his first. Well, that's his second, and 8-0. Can New Zealand keep it under double figures?
Camry with a chance to attack, crowded out by a sea of gold shirts. Eddie Alkaya back helping his teammates. Now thrusting forward into an attacking position. Here's Symington. Dan Fulton, the most recent goal scorer. Marino Musumeki. Eddie Alkaya. Symington. Alkaya again.
The Sharks are circling.
It does certainly seem that way, Paul. Alkaya. New Zealand invitational side just cannot get a hold of this ball in any meaningful way at the moment. Nice piece of defending by Matt Edridge. A bright spot for the Simon Mead coach side, and what has been a difficult opening match of the tournament for them. Marino Musumeki's shot took a deflection off Nathaniel Wright's left foot. So 2 mouth-watering matches to come in the opening day. As we see Dan Fulton's shot cleared by Charles Compan. New Caledonia taking on Malaysia at 6 p.m. New Zealand local time, and then at 8 o'clock the feature match, I dare say, of match day 1. Solomon Islands against New Zealand.
Yeah, so much anticipation in the futsal community. The Solomon Islands are legendary in our region, Gordon, and I know whenever I talk to people about them, because I've been lucky enough to have a bit of experience with them. I've been to Spain with them. I went to the World Cup, and they're a wonderful group of guys on and off the court. And they've built up a legendary status, and the New Zealand futsal fans, of course, they'll be behind their New Zealand side, but I reckon they'll come tonight to watch these guys, the Kuru. And we've also got the mouth-watering entree of New Caledonia and Malaysia, and wouldn't mind betting this Malaysian side will be there or thereabouts at the finish of this competition.
Well, it's a point well made, Paul. Malaysia do bring an experienced side. They've got a very big technical backroom staff here in New Zealand. As we see a good save by Mitchell Weber.
Yeah, a bit of Spanish influence with a technical advisor, and they've just recently played 9 games in Spain as part of the build-up towards... It'll be for the Asian Futsal Championship, and this also is part of that build-up. And the series you mentioned earlier in England. So I think what we're finding now is a number of federations in football have realised the growing status of futsal and the benefit that futsal has also to football, and they're starting to invest in it with good long-term programs, and I think Malaysia counts as one of those countries.
Well, certainly one of the Solomon Islanders who we're going to see hopefully in action later today will be Jack Wetney. He's become something of a talisman in both futsal and football for the Solomon Islands, as we see Sito adopt the flying goalkeeping kit. Australia now really putting New Zealand invitational side under the cosh.
Great chance there for Mitch Webber to do an Anthony Tallow. Tallow, of course, scored for the Solomons in the World Cup against Guatemala. What turned out to be the winner, actually, and Mitch there was just kicking himself that he didn't get inaccurate shot away. Sito performed this role for prolonged periods in Wellington in the third game, virtually half the game.
Good save by Weber. That can't have been too much for him to glimpse from Dean Lockhart's shot.
And ball lined up the shot as Sito was retreating. Constantinu back into the goalkeeper's spot. Can get a bit chaotic using the flying keeper, but Australia showed in Wellington they managed it really well. They must have trained well on it, but I guess if you're going to have someone to do it, Sito's your man. He looks so calm, so composed, and so assured. They never look like losing possession when they're employing this tactic.
Well, if New Zealand Invitational side were pinned back in their section of the court before, they're well and truly ensconced there now, as the Futsaroos put superior numbers forward. And a hopeful shot from Daniel Ball, not on target.
Just couldn't break quickly enough there, and Sito was back and organised, and once he's back into goal, he just performs the normal function of a keeper, so a lot of work to do there to try and beat him.
Lockhart. Zeballos, number 9 for Australia. And the scoreline blowing out. And a timeout has been called. Some respite for the home side.
Yeah, once again, good first touch as he turns inside, picks his spot, and no chance there for Mitch Weber.
Well, the amount of space that he had to work in was hugely significant there. The marking just dropping off.
Yeah, as they tire Gordon, and that's the thing, I guess, about the rotation. Australia with the ball, employing that rotation, running them around the court, and it really tells at moments like that. There's just easy to find space up at the top end of the court there. But I still believe the New Zealand Invitation side can take some heart from the game. I think for periods, particularly in the first half, they've looked okay. But best of all, for me anyway, just seeing youth, that emphasis on youth, and seeing the players of the future. I think I take my hat off to New Zealand football for giving these guys a chance and taking that risk. And I think all of these guys will be much better players from it, and it will benefit them as they head towards their campaign for 2016.
So New Zealand Invitational side 0, Australia's Futsaroos 9. And we have 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in the second half following this timeout call. Back underway at Truss Arena. Camry. And back with Australia. Didn't take them long to get a hold of the ball again. Giovanali. Sito. Cooper. Well, Australia have been able to play these two players, Giovanali and Zeballos, out wide in the left and right hand side.
Yeah, so hard to defend against.
And that's given away cheaply by Daniel Ball, and more work for the Invitation side to do now as Australia press high up the court. Giovanali trying to work himself into a shooting position. Sito, Lockhart, just comfortable to keep the ball and move it around. Lockhart. Punched into the corner for Zeballos. Lockhart.
Good work from New Zealand.
Here's that switch to Cooper. It's cut out by Jan Fisher.
They've done well there. It's really not easy to defend, especially as you tire. And Australia, no way through there.
Only seconds remaining in this second match of the OFC Futsal Invitational Championship at Truss Arena in Henderson. There's an injury, perhaps, to Daniel Ball. He's back up on his feet.
He's tough as old boots, Gordon. Good Hawke's Bay boy.
Fisher. Straight to Dean Lockhart. Adam Cooper. Cooper and Lockhart happy to try and keep the ball for Australia, while the goalkeeping interchange is taking place just off screen to your left. It was almost as if Angelo Constantinou and Tobias Sito were running shuttles. And here they go again. Constantinou back on court, out of picture. Mitchell Webber, Jan Fisher, Stephen Ashby Peckham. Frustration for New Zealand, invitational side. When you see the ball so rarely, it's only natural to get frustrated when something like a play breaks down.
Yeah, and the Australians win it back so well, don't they?
And that is full time in match 2 of the OFC Futsal Championship Invitational Tournament. It's been a lopsided victory to the Futsal Roos. They've prevailed by 9 goals to 0. 2 for Mark Symington, 1 for Toby Sito, 1 each for Adam Cooper and Dan Fulton, and a hat-trick for Marino Musumeki, and 1 for Chris Zeballos, as we look back to the highlights of the match we've just witnessed.
There's that distribution we've talked about from Constantinou. A beautiful ball. From an outfield player, it would have been class. And the finish by Sito, well, you don't need words for something like that, Gordon. Look at that.
It just set up so well for Sito. The rest was technique and power. And the next stop was the back of the net. No chance for Plowright to deal with that one.
Got.
Another goal for the Futsal Roos, this time to Mark Symington. It was Dan Fogarty who lofted the ball into the path of Symington.
Yeah, good first touch too with the chest and just put it away. Just, you know, that repetition on the training ground, just taking that good first touch and putting it away. Seen a few of those missed in my time, but that's a good finish from him. And then an easy one here, Musumeki from the free kick. Just the invitation side, a little bit disorganised, and the left-footed shot into the far corner. Sorry, the near corner. But easy for Musumeki, the hat-trick man for the Futsal Roos. Another good finish there from the kick-in. Just a bit lazy to defend. And Australia taking advantage.
Yes, it all started to come undone for the home side. And there was more to celebrate for the Futsal Roos. This time Dan Fulton picking up an Eddie Alpire pass. There was very little chance of Dan Fulton missing from that sort of range.
Yeah, classic finish really. Draw the goalkeeper and slid in by Fulton for his second goal in an Aussie shirt. But it was a little heck of momentum at that point. They scored 3 or 4 very quickly, and there's another one of them, Zeballos this time.
Yes,
good turn.
The marking had dropped right off. He had plenty of time. Look at that. Could turn, line it up. And in the back of the net, and some happy Australian players. Smiles all round.
Yeah, but overall, Gordon, you know, 9-0, it's a hammering, there's no doubt about that. But I just want to reiterate, you know, for that side, it's only been together really 24 hours, that New Zealand Invitation side. And we saw some glimpses. I'm pretty happy with that.
Okay, let's take a few moments with Australian coach Steve Knight.
Hi Steve, I guess you are happy after this first result against New Zealand?
Yes, very pleased with the result. Thankful that OFC invited us to this event.
You had also a 3 match a few days ago against New Zealand national team in Wellington.
Yes, we had 3 games. It was a good lead up to this tournament. I've brought an inexperienced team, so hopefully they'll prove themselves to push the older players.
And your expectation for this tournament? You have several teams like Malaysia, Tahiti, Solomon Island.
I think for any tournament we try to get into the top 4. The first exercise is to win our next 2 games or get good results in the next 2 games so we can challenge for a trophy.
Okay, what's the next for you?
We have an AFC Championship in October, an Asian Championship for AFC qualifier.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So plenty of smiles all round for Futsal Roos coach Steve Knight. And we can see the FIFA Fair Play in action here. A wonderful photo opportunity for the invitation side and the Futsal Roos. Nice to see both teams fraternising with each other and
A nice touch, Gordon. I think it's a big day for those young New Zealand players too. Most of them 17, 18. They'd look up to these Australians, and good on them for getting in on the team photo.
well, New Zealand invitation side coach Simon Mead is alongside Olivier Hook, and we can.
Hi Simon, what do you think about this first match against Australia?
Yeah, it was great. Look, we're here for a learning experience, and we're hopefully going to get better as the tournament goes on. And we learn a lot in 40 minutes of futsal, and we just hope to keep growing, keep improving from our mistakes, and really enjoy the rest of the tournament.
It's a round set first, so you have 3 matches. You have to win the 2 of the match if you want to go to the final 4.
Yeah, look, I mean, Final Four would definitely be a consolation, but we got to remember this is a young group of lads, and they're here to learn. We're looking at the much bigger picture, World Cups in a couple of years' time and things like that. So, we're here for very different reasons, and we're trying to get the most out of giving these guys international experience.
Perfect, thank you very much.
Cheers, thank you.
Simon Mead, philosophical in defeat and realistic about the development nature of his players and the opportunity afforded to them this afternoon taking on the Futsal Roos. So confirmation of the result, New Zealand invitation side 0, Australia 9, and we'll see you later on for New Caledonia against Malaysia and of course Solomon Islands up against New Zealand.